So the critical questions, and for both Puma, for Kumul Petroleum Holdings Limited, for the Treasurer, the Honourable Ian Ling-Stuckey, for the Prime Minister James Marape to answer, and this also includes the Honourable Governor for Hela, the Honourable Philip Undialu. See, we're saying here that the fuel crisis affecting Papua New Guinea involves the Hela provincial government trying to take over the supply of fuel to the country. This fuel crisis is artificial, it's not man-made. We're not having a fuel crisis because of the law of supply and demand. We're having a fuel crisis here because you've got a group of people that are trying to take over the fuel supply to the nation. The questions here are, what is the real problem between Puma and the central bank? Why has Puma not been given enough foreign exchange to provide an essential service to the functioning of the country? Why has the state, under the Prime Ministership of James Marape, directed Kumul Petroleum Holdings to be the de facto central bank in issuing FX to Puma, when this doesn't fall under the purview of a state-owned enterprise like KPH? Why are we compromising the integrity and independence of the central bank? Has the central bank run out of US dollars? What role is the IMF playing to restrict the central bank? Are the IMF imposed restrictions causing the keener devaluation and current cost of living crisis that we're experiencing in the country right now? What is the relationship between the Prime Minister, the Hela Governor, the Honourable Philip Undialu, Hela Investments, Arafura Energies and Puma Energy? What's this relationship? That everybody's protecting everybody else at the expense of the people of Papua New Guinea. Has Arafura Energies fulfilled their orders with Puma? Why is Hela Provincial Government using taxpayer and landowner funds through Hela Investments and Arafura Energies to partake in the fuel industry? What's the interest of Hela Provincial Government and their investment arm in trying to take over the fuel supply to the country? Why can't we just do the right thing and stop the monopoly and allow another international provider of petrochemical products like ExxonMobil, like Total, to come in and restore consistent supply of fuel to the country? What's our interest? What is the role of the Petroleum and Energy Minister, the Honourable Jimmy Maladina, as the regulator in directing Puma on what to do? Is the good minister acting outside of his powers and putting pressure on Puma to help Arafura Energies? What is the impetus behind this sort of action by the minister? Why isn't he independently regulating Puma? Arafura has not fulfilled the second order of fuel supply to the country and is up for penalty and damages from Puma for another $11 million US. Who will pay for this? Will the state pay for it, or will Hela Investments pay for it? These questions just highlight a sinister plot and scheme that is completely risking the stability of fuel supply to the country. And you can talk about any other goods and services. Without oil, without fuel, the country will just come to a complete halt. So this sort of insidious action, and these players, they have to come out and tell the country what interest they have in trying to take over the fuel supply for the nation. We don't want Hela Investments supplying fuel to the country. Why can't we just have ExxonMobil come in and take over the fuel supply if Puma can't do it? What's so hard? This comes back to the point that the alternative PM was making. The Prime Minister, Honourable James Marape, is incapable of making tough decisions for the good of the nation. And this is why we're having a problem. Crisis after crisis after crisis. It's not just a fuel problem. It's a fuel crisis. It's not that payroll's not on time, we've got a cash flow crisis. The country's becoming insolvent. We keep on borrowing money to repay the debts that we already can't manage. There's serious implications here. And in his wisdom, the Prime Minister has just gone ahead and reappointed the Honourable Ian Lingstaki, the sideline treasurer. Notwithstanding his total incompetence, he's just reappointed him. So Lingstaki has to come out and he has to tell us how he's going to fix the foreign exchange crisis that we have right now, how he's going to fix the cash flow crisis, how he's going to fix the cost of living crisis. We demand accountability by the treasurer. Private you sit down in the office, people, you must come out and talk straight.